Aaron McCain, better known by his stage name Canon, is a trailblazing hip-hop artist with magnetic beats and thought-provoking lyrics. His first project became an instant hit, building Canon's fan base across the globe. He was featured on Lecrae's album and even charted on Billboard's top rap albums list for his solo projects. In 2014, Canon faced a near-death experience that forced the rapper to put his life in perspective and truly live without fear. Today, Canon continues to use his life, music, and testimony to point to the goodness of God.
And he is live now with us here in studio. Such an honor to have you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Efrem, for having me.
Well, let's talk about your career. It literally has been rises and falls, literally, if you will. Tell me how this career all began for you.
Actually, it began at home. I come from a great musical family. My father played the keyboard, my brother played the drums, my mother sang, my sister sang, and I found my own voice. I began to utilize hip-hop as my own tool. So everything started at home. You know, my family is just amazing when they come to talent. And so, yeah, I just fell in suit with them.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So we are celebrating 50 years of hip-hop, if you will. I'll ask you a question familiar in the industry. When did you fall in love with hip-hop?
So I fell in love with hip-hop the moment I heard it. You know, hip-hop is a reflection of the culture that it comes from, a reflection of the community, of the people that make the music. And so I come from the same culture, the same community. And, you know, it was me wearing baggy jeans and do-rags and, you know, big baggy T-shirts and whatnot, and I began to understand that hip-hop is just a voice of the community. And when I understood that, I automatically knew I was qualified because I was part of the community. And so I just utilized my story to, you know, just to reach people, but I utilized the tool of hip-hop to reach people as well. And so hip-hop for me began the moment, you know, I was a kid listening to the radio and I'm in the mirror rapping on, you know, rapping any lyric I can find on the radio and just envisioning myself as an artist, you know, and then next thing you know, I end up getting opportunities to do so, learning how to rap. And my sister doesn't know this, but, you know, I learned it from hers, you know.
Really?
Yeah, she would always have these CDs in her room, and I would listen to all her music, and I'd be sneaking, you know, I'd scratch up some of her CDs. But once I knew that I could recite anyone else's lyrics, I could write my own. And that's when I began to write my own.
Now, you make a connection with Lecrae. Tell me about that and what that did for your career.
Yeah, Lecrae became just an influential tool in my life. He was a big brother who allowed me to come alongside of him and tour with him. You know, as I began, I started out as a hype man for Lecrae. And, you know, just learning how to navigate the stage. If I wanted to do this full time, how would I be able to manage a career, a family, a brand, you know, a name, and live up to the name? But I've learned to let the brand live up to my name, you know, because it's not about the brand, it's about what God is doing with you. And so, man, Lecrae has allowed me to tour with him in so many different ways. Doing so, I've gotten so many different opportunities. And then from there, I began to push out my own music, my own, you know, I have my own fan base, I have my own voice, my own face. And so I signed to Reflection Music Group with Derek Minor, and, you know, we've got some incredible artists on there. And so as I began to find my own voice, I began to try to encourage other artists to do the same. And now, next thing you know, I've got a 10+ career doing it. Yeah. So God has been faithful, yeah.
Now, you signed with Derek Minor, Reflection Records. I want to take you back to a night, a concert ends, you leave, it is dark.
Yeah.
And you essentially jump 30 feet off a bridge unintentionally. What happened?
Yeah, so after a show, you know, typically you go out to eat, and that's what we were on our way doing. But we saw this truck flipped over on the highway, and this is in the middle of the night. And so my knee-jerk reaction, for some reason, I got this Messiah complex. But I thought to save the individual in that car, you know, in that truck. And my hope was to pull him out and do so. But to be honest, you know, things didn't turn out the way we thought they would. And so in fear and being afraid of what could happen in the midst of the moment, I ended up falling off the 30-foot highway. And, you know, next thing you know, I'm in the hospital trying to recover my life. But God was faithful. I landed in a place where I only could land, a small patch of grass. And, you know, I was able to, you know, get back my bearings to some point, but I still had to go through various surgeries. My wife was alongside of me, and she took it hard, you know, but she was right there with me. I love you. You know that. You know that, baby. But she was right there alongside with me, and, you know, she helped me recover.
You guys were only married 3 weeks at the time.
Yeah, it just happened, you know. And, you know, talk about, you know, preparing with premarital counseling. You know, there was no preparation for that. There was no way you could prepare for a 30-foot fall in that regard. But we had to lean on God. That's all we had. The strength of God carried her, carried me. And here I am today. I still got the scars till today. I still got tracheotomy scars till today. But God's fingerprint was on me. His hand was on me. And that's how I'm still here.
So we're talking 10 years, black man in the hip-hop world. How does that influence your music and where you go now?
Well, my music is again, it's a voice of where we come from, where I come from. And I do come from a black community. So a lot of things that I may say may resonate with the black community because that's where I come from. But my message goes beyond just my color, my skin color, my race. I believe that truth is universal, especially gospel truth is universal. And so my hope is that people are set free because of my music. I hope that people are heard, seen, that they feel understood where they come from, that they're not overlooked because of their content, because of their context, but they have the opportunity to be heard and seen and change their community and go back and make a difference. So I'm a product of my environment, but I'm a product of God's grace within my environment. So I want people to feel that and embrace that when they get a chance to listen to my music.
What makes you use your music to speak out against injustice? Why do you do that?
Yeah, because it could be me. You know, when I think about George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, any of them could have been me. And oftentimes it's somebody that it's not necessarily who you expect. It's the people who, it's not the kid who was selling drugs to his whole neighborhood. It's not the person murdering their community. It was oftentimes some kid who just wanted to get home, you know, and you find out it could have been them. It could have been you, but it was them. And so you understand that, man, things have to change, not just for your communal context, but things have to change for others. And so I hope that music can be a tool, resourceful, to allow people to say, you know what, I see where that young man is coming from. This is a reflection of his pain, and this is his outlet. When I love being able to listen to artists like NBA Youngboy or Lil Durk. You know, when I listen to them, I hear them, and I don't down them. I don't say, oh man, they destroying their communities. I say, man, this is the outlet for their pain. They're communicating or reflecting where they come from. That's all hip hop has ever done. And so I'm doing the same, and I want people to be able to heal from that pain. And to do that, we have to talk about that pain. So, man, I love hip hop being a tool. I love it being an instrument. And I'm just trying to strum them strings, those strings every time that God allows me to. So it's been a blessing. Yeah.
And you are a blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Canon. Thank you for your honesty and speaking with us today and for allowing us to share your story. You can follow Canon on all social media platforms. The way to do that is getcanon.com for all his latest music.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Key. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can reach more people with encouraging content like you just watched, and so you never miss a beat. See you next time, and God bless.